Hi, this is Monica from Run, Eat, Repeat, and today's Ask a Monican is all about how to get faster. I got this question today on Twitter when I called out for your questions and decided just to dedicate this vlog specifically to getting faster because it's a very common question. This person says, Marie, she says, yes, I'm confident with endurance, accidentally getting faster, but I want more. How do you train for speed? This is a great question. And I have 5 tips for you that will help you get faster. The first one, I think you know what I'm going to say. It's do speed work if you want to get speedier. So it's anything from specific speed work where you're doing drills of 400 meters or 800 meters at a set pace. And there are a lot of tools online for finding out what would be a good pace for you. Sometimes it's like your 10K PR plus or minus 30 seconds or so when you're doing repeats. A lot of times those are called repeats because you're repeating the same distance a couple of times. You're doing a half a mile, which is 800 meters, and then giving yourself a rest and redoing it at a set speed that is a lot faster than you can maintain for any length longer than, let's say, a half a mile to a mile. Tempo runs also work where you kind of warm up and then you'll speed up for a while doing it at a set pace, maybe goal pace. Let's say you want to run a marathon in 10-minute miles. So your tempo pace might be something that's goal pace plus 20 seconds. So you'll be running it at 10:20 or less than that. It really depends on what your goals are, what distance you're training for. But I think it's important to kind of identify specifically how fast you should be running. If you want to get faster, you're going to have to start crunching numbers. I'm horrible with numbers because I'm not a numbers person. So that's why I actually don't do a lot of speed work because I'm not a mathologist and I don't want to say lazy, but unambitious. I don't know, but I'm bad with figuring that out. So I prefer tempo-y kind of runs. And really, I learned in my Roadrunners Club of America class that our instructor said, and I mean, there's a lot of things that were in the book that we learned, and I think this was more his opinion versus what was specifically in the book. But he said strides are the key to getting faster. So at the end of a run, doing a couple of 100-meter strides, it's awesome because you're tired and you're kind of giving yourself that burst at the end. And making sure that you still have very quick feet and have a push at the end of a run. Strides is what he pushed. And I love that because I feel like it's easier to do than the tempo or the speed work. And I have put a couple of, I think, tempo runs up on Run, Eat, Repeat. So I'll try to dig those up and share those so you can do those too if you feel inclined to do that. When I was doing speed work last year, it's like the only time in my life I did speed work. I really did the same thing all the time, and it was 800-meter repeats. Basically, that's just a fancy way to say, oh, the metric system. It's not fancy at all way to say it. It's just a different way to say it's half a mile, and then I would rest, and I would do a half a mile as fast as I could. But I didn't shoot for a specific time, like is the proper way to do it. So you should do it the proper way. You should never do anything like Run, Eat, Repeat does. You should do it the proper way. Number 2, speed up your cadence. Use a metronome, or there are, I don't know, maybe they're just called like cadence meters or something, but you want to speed up your foot strike so that your foot is hitting the ground faster. We don't want to be long gazelles just gliding through the air. You want to make sure that your foot turnover is quick. Ideally, it's 180 hits per minute, which is crazy. That's quick turnover. So you want to start off a little slowly, maybe at like 130 and then speed it up. You can also buy a metronome. There's, I think, metronome apps. And there's also, you can find music that is set to certain beats per minute so that if you kind of want to not realize that you are trying to get yourself to do this, you can load up your iPod or whatever with songs that are at the beats per minute that you're trying to get and try to get your foot to hit the ground quicker turnover. So you're pushing off all the time, and that will help you speed up. You can also, number 3, run with someone faster. It's always a great idea in life to surround yourself with people that are better than you are, because that's how you get better. So run with someone faster, you know, it's just a good way to kind of hang out and get quicker, because you really have no choice or you'll be left in the dust. Number 4 is one that I am reluctant to say, but you want to make sure you're at ideal race weight, because if you are lighter, it will be easier to get faster. You are physically moving less mass from point A to point B. If you have no issues with weight, do not try to starve yourself just to get faster, because will have the reverse effect if you are not fueling yourself properly and making sure that you're treating yourself well and being healthy. But I did have to throw it out there that it's science, it's gravity and physics and shit, you know. So you want to make sure you're at an ideal weight for running. Again, do as I say, not as I do. I'm not here to be a gazelle. I'm here to be a mannequin who likes to run. Number 5. I actually got this advice from, I talked to Sonia Richards-Ross, who's an Olympian speed runner, and I asked her, how do you get faster? And she said she does not like long distances. She likes sprinting, so that's like kind of her thing. So she doesn't have like a ton of advice for longer distance runners, but did say that most casual runners do not focus on their form, which I think is so true. So we talk right away about, you know, learning to run a 5K or 10K, half marathon, and then you want to increase your endurance, you want to get faster. And we never talk about form, how you're supposed to be moving your arms, how quickly you're supposed to be moving your feet, how you're supposed to be holding your upper body, all of those things, just making sure that you have proper form. And the reality is, when you see people running down the street, or a lot of times in races, they're not, you can just tell they're a casual runner because they don't look like a runner that you see in pictures, right, or in the Olympics, which is kind of weird, because you still should know how to hold yourself, hold your body. If you're playing baseball or basketball, you're going to throw the ball the same way that a professional would. You're going to focus on form a little bit more there. But for some reason with running, we kind of just strap on our shoes or lace them up. I don't know who straps on their shoes, but and like gets the heck out the door. And then when we get tired, our form goes to crap. I know mine does. And it's just something that, yeah, I agree. That was eye-opening, that we need to focus on form, perfecting your form. So all those little things, as you are just hunching over, or maybe not, you know, breathing properly, or maybe not pumping your arms properly, especially over 5, 10, 26.2 miles, really add up to your time. So I would say perfect your form is also a good one. Also helps with race pictures, and it probably helps you just look better and more confident, and yay. Those are my 5 tips. If you have anything to add, please feel free, add them in the comments or wherever you feel inclined to add them. It's kind of weird. And you can email me at runeatrepeat@gmail.com, or tweet me at runeatrepeat, or leave a blog comment or YouTube and all of that jazz. Thank you for watching. Happy running.